Ever wonder what sets the wealthy apart from everyone else? Here's the honest truth. Successful people are willing to build habits most folks run away from. Warren Buffett once told Bloomberg, "We all live and die by our habits. Some of those habits shape your health or your relationships, but some are powerful enough to change your financial destiny forever." But here's the crazy part. Most of us don't even realize we're sabotaging our wallets with bad money habits over and over again. We don't question it, we just repeat what we've always done and wonder why our bank accounts never seem to grow. Buffett has a different take. He says you don't need to fight your old financial routines, you just need to swap them out for smarter ones. Make a few simple switches, and suddenly your money starts working for you, not against you. Curious what those habits are? Stick with me until the end of this video. You're about to unlock the secrets that helped Buffett become a billionaire, all without giving up his regular guy lifestyle. This is the top channel for anyone who's serious about money, so go ahead and hit subscribe now. Who knows, today might just be the first step on your own journey to millionaire status. Warren Buffett isn't your typical billionaire. Sure, he's worth around $116 billion, but you won't catch him living in a gold-plated mansion or zipping around in a private jet. Nope, Buffett still calls home the modest house he bought back in 1957 for just $31,000. Instead of chasing luxury, he drives himself to work, hops on regular flights, and prefers quiet games of bridge to flashy parties. It's this down-to-earth approach to life and to money that makes people all over the world lean in when Buffett talks. From a young age, he understood what it meant to hustle. Picture a skinny kid knocking on doors, selling Cokes, magazines, and newspapers, determined to make his own way before sunrise, while other kids were still in bed. "I liked being my own boss," he once said, remembering those chilly mornings lugging around hundreds of papers just to earn a few extra pennies. But here's what truly set Buffett apart: his hunger to learn. He'd lose himself in books for hours, reading anything he could get his hands on, from the World Almanac his aunt gave him to his father's investment books. Even now, he spends 5 to 6 hours every single day reading and studying the market. That's how he stays sharp, by never letting a day go by without learning something new. Buffett built his fortune in the second half of the 20th century, but he's never stopped evolving. He's proof that it's not about being born with a genius brain or having a head start. It's about building habits, paying attention to what actually works, and having the patience to let those habits pay off. As he likes to say, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just need patience and the guts to stick with your plan. So, what's Buffett's secret when it comes to money? Believe it or not, it all starts with something most people overlook: how you spend. Sounds simple, but over 65% of Americans admit they don't really know where their money goes each month. The truth? Most folks are already making plans for money they haven't even earned yet. Buffett urges us to flip the script. Before you swipe your card or hit buy now, don't just ask how much it costs. Ask yourself how many hours you had to work for it. Break it down. If you make $4,000 a month and you're eyeing a $40,000 Tesla, is it worth trading a whole year of your life just to have that shiny new car? Maybe it's smarter to look for ways to boost your income before you even think about splurging. The key, Buffett says, is to treat every dollar with respect, whether you're making minimum wage or managing millions. It's easy to lose track of your money, especially when you start earning more. Suddenly, $1 million can slip through your fingers if you're not careful. That's why Buffett is obsessed with tracking every penny in and out. He plans his spending, keeps an eye on all his accounts, and encourages everyone, no matter their income, to do the same. It's not about being cheap, it's about being in control. And when you're in control of your spending, you're one step closer to building real wealth. Here's another truth Buffett swears by: money sitting idle is money losing value. Leaving your savings in a jar or letting it gather dust in a checking account isn't just old-fashioned, it's actually making you poorer thanks to inflation. So, what does Buffett recommend? Make your money work as hard as you do. Even if you're not ready to dive headfirst into the stock market, you can start small. Move your savings into a high-yield account that at least keeps up with inflation. But if you really want your money to grow, you'll eventually need to learn the art of investing. Don't stress about buying stocks tomorrow. Focus on understanding the basics first. Buffett himself spends a chunk of every day learning about investments and trends. Instead of scrolling through social media first thing in the morning, Try swapping 10 or 20 minutes for some smart reading. Follow what's happening with the big companies, Facebook, Google, Apple, and pay attention to how investments can actually build wealth over time. Some of these companies have delivered returns of 30% a year, turning regular folks into millionaires while everyone else was just mindlessly scrolling. The bottom line? You don't have to become a Wall Street whiz overnight. Just start building the habit of learning, even in small doses. That's how you get ahead one day, $1, and one new idea at a time. But let's get real for a second. Most people never build wealth because they're stuck making the same money mistakes over and over again without even realizing it. Buffett loves to point out these hidden traps because avoiding them is just as important as adopting good habits. Mistake number 1, skipping out on personal growth. Buffett is crystal clear on this. The very best investment you'll ever make is in yourself. Learning new skills, getting a better education, reading every day, these aren't just resume boosters. They're the fastest route to increasing your income. Employers pay more for people who already know their stuff. And if you're an entrepreneur, those skills become your greatest assets. Nobody can take them from you. Next up, credit cards. Sure, they're convenient, but the truth is, they're one of the biggest traps out there. Credit cards lure you in with points and rewards, then bleed you dry with high interest if you don't pay them off right away. Buffett's advice? Cut out credit card debt as fast as you can. Not only will you stop spending money you don't have, but you'll also free up cash to invest in things that truly pay off, like your own education or a business idea. And then there's the never-ending urge to buy the latest gadget. New phones, new tablets, new everything advertising makes us believe we need it all, right now. But Buffett? He sticks with what works, upgrading only when it actually makes a difference. Why? Because buying for status is a surefire way to stay broke. So if you want to start building wealth, pay attention to where your money is really going. Swap out habits that drain your bank account for ones that help you grow. That's how Buffett did it, and you can too. Let's talk about a few more money pitfalls that keep people stuck. Eating out, buying flashy clothes, chasing the next big thing. These habits might feel harmless, but over time, they add up and quietly drain your potential for wealth. Take eating out, for example. Grabbing lunch at a restaurant, meeting friends for drinks, or splurging at a new hotspot. It's fun, it's social, but it's also one of the quickest ways to blow through your budget. Buffett's advice? When you're serious about building wealth, it's time to swap those restaurant bills for home-cooked meals or low-key get-togethers at your place. You don't have to give up fun, you just need to be a little smarter about how you spend on it. Now, let's look at your closet. Ever notice how the richest people keep their styles simple? Buffett's wardrobe is living proof. He doesn't care about big-name brands or the hottest trends. He buys what works and skips the rest. Most people pay extra just for a logo on their shirt. But at the end of the day, it's all just fabric. If you want to break free from the paycheck-to-paycheck grind, start seeing through the hype and focus on value over flash. And here's a big one: unused subscriptions and memberships. How many times have you signed up for a gym, convinced this time you'll stick with it only to quit after a few weeks? Or grab that free trial online and then forgot to cancel, letting auto-renewal quietly chip away at your bank account month after month? Buffett's strategy is simple. If you're not using it, ditch it. Track your subscriptions, set reminders, and make sure your money is going toward things that actually improve your life, not just empty promises. Here's where a lot of people go off the rails, making big purchases they can't really afford, just to keep up appearances. Think about buying a brand new car. For most, it's the ultimate symbol of success, sleek, shiny, and fresh from the dealership. But Buffett, one of the world's richest men, rarely ever buys new. Why? Because the moment you drive a new car off the lot, it starts losing value. He prefers to buy reliable used cars and keep them running for as long as possible. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about making your money last. The same goes for the latest tech gadgets. Every year, companies roll out the newest phone, tablet, or smart device, promising you a better life if you just upgrade. But does your old device still work fine? Buffett never rushes to buy the next big thing. He only upgrades when it makes a real difference, not because of some slick marketing campaign. The lesson? Don't let FOMO, fear of missing out, trick you into spending on things you don't really need. Then there's the trap of endless subscription services. Whether it's streaming platforms, fitness apps, or software, these small monthly charges can pile up fast. Companies count on you to forget about them so they can quietly keep charging your card. Buffett's tip? Audit your subscriptions regularly. If you're not getting real value, cancel without hesitation. That money could go towards something that actually grows your wealth, instead of slowly disappearing each month. Before you know it, these little expenses become the invisible anchors holding you back from real financial freedom. Start noticing them, and you'll be amazed at how much more you can save and invest. Let's talk about the temptation to get rich quick. It's everywhere: lotteries, casinos, high-risk investments that promise to make you a fortune overnight. Buffett's message here is simple. Gambling with your future is never the way to wealth. He knows too many people who've watched their dreams and their savings go up in smoke, all because they were hoping to strike it rich with one lucky break. Instead, Buffett urges us to play the long game. True wealth comes from steady, thoughtful steps, not chasing after shortcuts that almost always backfire. When you pour your money into risky bets, you might feel a rush, but you're actually stacking the odds against yourself. Success, Buffett says, is about making choices today that pay off tomorrow, next year, and even decades down the line. And don't forget about habits that drain your health along with your wallet, like smoking. It's not just bad for you, it's also a massive waste of money over time. Add up the cost of cigarettes, and you could be staring at thousands of dollars a year money that could have been invested, saved, or put towards something that actually improves your life. Buffett's philosophy is clear. Make decisions that set you up for a brighter future, not just a quick thrill. Focus on the habits that build you up, and ditch the ones that quietly pull you down. What truly separates the self-made wealthy from everyone else? Buffett says it all comes down to building the right core habits and sticking with them even when nobody's watching. He often reminds young people that habits are like chains that are too light to feel until they're too heavy to break. In other words, small actions today quietly become the forces that either lift you up or hold you back for life. One of Buffett's golden rules is about saving. Don't save what's left after spending. Spend what's left after saving. It might sound simple, but it flips the typical mindset on its head. Instead of letting your spending control your future, you decide upfront how much you'll keep for yourself. The easiest way? Automate your savings. Set up a regular transfer from your paycheck so you don't even have to think about it. Use an app or a budgeting tool to track where your money goes. Over time, you'll be amazed at how quickly those small, steady savings grow. Then there's Buffett's most famous rule: never lose money. And his second rule? Never forget the first rule. It's not just about avoiding losses, it's about refusing to take unnecessary risks. The biggest difference between people who get ahead and those who fall behind? The successful learn to say no to almost everything that threatens their long-term security. Buffett himself keeps a surprising amount of his wealth in cash, sometimes tens of billions of dollars, so he's always ready for an emergency or a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When the 2008 crisis hit, it was that pile of cash that saved his company. His reasoning? Cash is like oxygen. You don't notice it until you don't have it, and then it's all you can think about. So, if you want real financial security, focus on steady savings, minimize risk, and always think long-term. It's the slow, boring habits that build unstoppable wealth. Let's get into one of the biggest wealth killers out there: bad debt. Buffett has seen countless people sabotage their future by piling up credit card bills, personal loans, and even massive mortgages. He's blunt about it. If you keep borrowing for things you don't absolutely need, you're not building wealth, you're digging yourself into a hole. I've watched just as many people lose everything to credit as to alcohol, Buffett says. The smart play? Live within your means and only borrow what you can safely pay back. True financial winners find ways to grow their money without leaning on credit. But here's another secret most people ignore. It's the little expenses that really sink you. Buffett is famously frugal even when grabbing a meal with Bill Gates. He once paid with discount coupons. He's known for buying companies run by owners who count every single penny. Why? Because the people who respect small expenses are usually the ones who keep their fortunes in the long run. That means you should keep an eagle eye on those daily coffee runs. subscription fees, and impulse buys because they quietly add up. Buffett also insists that real wealth isn't built by chasing the next big thing or scrambling to make a quick buck. It's about having patience, vision, and the discipline to think in decades, not days. He puts it best with his signature humor. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. Some things simply take time. If you want to build a college fund for your kids, retire comfortably, or leave a legacy, you have to start early and let time do its work. And never stop learning. Buffett spends hours every day reading about money, businesses, and the world around him. The more you know about how money works, the less likely you are to fall for the traps and mistakes that keep most people stuck. As Buffett says, go to bed a little smarter than when you woke up. But here's the truth, no one tells you. Money, on its own, won't make you happy. Buffett is living proof. Yes, he could buy almost anything he wants, but he still values simplicity, health, and close friendships above all else. Some material things have made my life easier, he admits, but too many just become a burden. In fact, he believes that when you own too much, those possessions start to own you. That's why Buffett keeps his circle tight. He counts his closest friends as his greatest treasure. Second, only to his health. Without good health, he says, no amount of money can buy happiness or success. He's also careful not to let work or wealth come between him and what truly matters. But perhaps Buffett's most powerful lesson is about courage. Back when he was just 20 years old, he did something bold. He traveled all the way to Washington, D.C., just to meet his mentor, Benjamin Graham. That gutsy move led to a lifelong partnership and helped lay the foundation for his empire. Buffett never shied away from hard decisions, either. When one of his companies stopped being profitable, he didn't hesitate to walk away, no matter how tough it felt in the moment. That's the kind of discipline and bravery it takes to win at life and business. And here's a practical tip almost nobody does. Before you go to bed each night, make a short list of the most important things you need to do tomorrow. Reflect on what you did well, what you could improve, and write down your next steps. Over time, these daily reflections will become your roadmap to success. Almost every wealthy person does this, while most people let their days slip by without a plan. If you want a life that's not just rich in dollars, but rich in meaning, start now. Build the habits, make the tough choices, and always remember what matters most. That's the real secret behind Buffett's billions. So, what's stopping you from building real wealth and living life on your own terms? Warren Buffett's story proves it's not about luck, or starting out rich, or being a financial genius. It's about the habits you build, the choices you make, and the courage to stick to your values, even when it's hard. Remember, wealth is built step by step, decision by decision. Track your spending, invest in yourself, stay patient, and say no to anything that threatens your future. Focus on building the kind of habits that last a lifetime, not just a season. If you found value in these lessons, hit the like button and subscribe to join a community of future millionaires. Share your biggest financial mistake or your best money habit in the comments below. Let's help each other grow and keep this conversation going. And don't forget, every day is a fresh chance to start new habits and take control of your financial future. So go out there, live smart, live bold, and keep reaching higher. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.